welcome to See I Am Me. I am your host, Rashawn Warren, and today I got a buddy from back in the day. Uh, we served in the military together. He's now since been retired. You know, a veteran is what we call them right now. And I'm so happy to have him on. It's been a while since we really talked for a bit, but it's my friend Eugene. Eugene, come on in.
Hey, how you doing, Rashawn?
No, I'm doing good, man. I'm glad you're on here today.
Yeah, I know. Glad to be here.
Hey, so as we're going, so when I was going through the intro, I noticed my tongue is blue a little bit. Everybody, I was chewing on some candy, so don't think I'm out here sick of anything. I just got this looseness. You're gonna proof of life right there, right? Promotion, right? And, hey, Eugene, it's good to have you, man. I know we talked a little bit ago, but it's been a while since we physically seen each other. Uh, Before the show, I was laughing because I'm like, man, you got full civilian beard now. What's up with that? Tell me how
Yeah,
you
you
do
like
it.
that? Yeah, yeah. Like when I was talking to my wife about it, I was like, when I retire, I want to grow a beard. She was like, I don't know what you would look like with a beard, right? Like, and so it took her a little bit to get used to. And then even walking around, people are like, "Who are you?" Like, I feel like I know you, so I have to show them a picture, right? Like of what I look like without a beard.
Hey, man, it looks good on you, man. So, hey, introduce the world to who you are right now.
Yeah, so Eugene Sieren, like you had said earlier, we even served in the Army, but I did 20 years of service in the Army, Air Defense Artillery, retired as a Sergeant First Class. I'm a dad. I have three kids. I have a daughter, two boys, even a grandpa, right? Like I got a little granddaughter too. So that happened a couple years ago since we last talked last, and I retired here in El Paso, right? Like I stayed here in El Paso. I know Fort Sill's home in the air defense, right? Like in field artillery and all that, but there's so much going on here in the air defense world, and that's what kind of kept me here. And my wife's family's here, and then of course my oldest is going to college at UTEP here, and then my youngest is still in high school. So that's
Mhm.
another reason what kept me here. But that's me in a nutshell.
Oh man, college kids, man, it has been a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so, so real quick, man, after 20 years in the army, man, and walking around with not the uniform on, who do you feel like now?
Yeah. So I'll tell you, Rashad, like it was a hard transition a little bit, right? Like, because 20 years in the army, it gives you purpose, it gives you direction, it gives you those things, right? Like those guys, like you just wake up, put your PT shoes on and go to PT, right? You shower, go put your boots on, you put the uniform on and you go. And it gives you that kind of identity, right? Like, you're walking around, you have that identity, you wear US Army, you represent something big. But when you take that off, it takes a little bit to get used to, right? Like, cause you're like, man, like you're just somebody just walking down the street, like it's no longer like,
You don't got to set the alarm no more.
yeah, right. Like, and then like I would find myself I still to this day, like I still get up early, right? Like, and everybody was like, Eugene, why don't you just sleep in? I was like, I don't even know what that is. Right? Like, I don't
you,
even
you
know what
know,
sleeping in is.
it's you're programmed, man. I'm telling you. I'll tell you this quick story. So when I first came from basic training, brother, I came home. I didn't have to do anything. It was like a Christmas break or something. I was laying down in the room and I woke up and I looked at the clock and the clock said six something. So I jumped up. I took off running, because I'm like, oh crap, I'm late. And then I got opened up the door and my brother was in the hallway. My brother was like, what's wrong with you, bro? And I was like, oh, I'm back at the house. But my mind did not let the time frame go. So I'm assuming, you're still dealing with a little of that, little here and there.
Yeah, I do. And this year, the end of this year will be 4 years since I retired. And I still find
Mm.
myself sometimes like I'll get up out of bed and like I'll go to my closet, right? And I still have some of my PTs hung up, right? It's funny, right? Like I haven't gotten rid of them. And I'll be like, oh, I'm not doing that today, right? Like I gotta go to work. I gotta get ready to go to work.
Yeah, man. You know what? I'm looking forward to that feeling, man. So you said it's been about 4 years, man. So what moment caused you to really truly see yourself? Like when you like, hey, you know what, I am a civilian now. What moment happened that made you really feel like that?
So, like I was saying, like all the, when you're wearing that uniform, it's your identity. Like I truly felt that, right? Like, and then I want to say it was maybe about a year after being retired and getting to talk to people and walk around that I realized like that's still part of me.
Yeah.
Like even in my last job, one of our leadership coaches, I mean, she was amazing. Her name was Joey Marshall, right? Like, and she had said, like, she explained to me when I was struggling, even when I was working there in the corporate world, that I'm like, I have all these tools, I have all these things, like I have this mindset of thinking like the military, right? Like you ask something to be done, we execute quickly, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Sometimes I'd be executing a lot quicker um, than what they expected. They wanted me to take my time, and I would struggle with that because that was my identity, right? The army, like, remember Rashawn, like, you know, you're an officer. If you came to me and said, "Hey, Sergeant Sieren, I need you to do something," I'm going to go execute because I don't want you to wait on me. And sometimes it's okay. In the corporate world, I learned it's okay to kind of like take your time and make those decisions with a different pace. And she told me, she was like, Eugene, she was like, the army's still you. It's still part of you. Use those tools and make it better, like, and still do those things, like you can still do those things. And so when I realized like what the army made me, shaped me, and made me the person I am today, that didn't change. Now I'm just doing it in a different light, right? Like now I'm doing it, well, I was doing it in the corporate world. Now I'm back in the contracting world, but working with military and just walking around talking to soldiers and talking to people still in uniform, that respect's still there. That that identity is still there. You're just putting it in a different light, right? Like I'm no longer wearing U.S. Army Sergeant First Class Siren, like I'm no longer wearing the flag and I'm no longer wearing my unit patches, none of the cool flair that we get, right? Like now I'm doing it in a light of just like, now I'm taking my knowledge, I'm taking the things and the skills that I had. It's still there, but putting it for a different purpose. And now I've found my reasoning, right? I no longer struggle with that. It's like just accept it. It's part of me. Still use it, but bring it in a different light instead of saying, you know, Colonel, Sergeant, so and so, Sergeant Major says we got to do it this way. Be like, hey,
Hmm.
looked at using it, like, hey, here's some things that I learned while operating on this equipment. Have you thought
Yeah.
about using it this way? Approaching it differently. And not also too, right? Like when you think about it, like I'm not walking into a room, Sergeant First Class Siren, right? Like I'm walking
Yeah.
into a
Yeah.
room, Eugene, like different.
Yeah, yeah. You Eugene, you know, walking up in there like, hey, 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 what's going on with all this? Hey, 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 we gotta get high.
Who's in charge around here, right? Like who do I got to talk to?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Who's this? Hey, where your squad leader at? Hey, get over here. Like, nah, nah, nah. I feel you, man. So, hey, so you were talking about authenticity, right? And authenticity help you find your purpose. So as you kind of figured out, like, yeah, man, now I'm Eugene at, at the great place of work. How do you still be who you are on the inside? Well, like you just said, we're taking the Sergeant First Class all the way out. How do you be your authentic self?
Yeah, so I always rely back onto, my morals, my foundation of what my parents instilled into me, right? Like,
Mhm.
um, my parents, like, you know, God first, right? Like, and family and all those different things, right? Like, and one of the biggest things that I can honestly say that's truly helped is treating people as human beings, you know, and just I think people are our greatest asset, right? Like same thing in the military, right? Like that I go back to that too, right? Like things don't get done without boots on the ground. Like
Yeah,
we can have all these fancy things and all this fancy equipment and gear and everything, but when it comes down to it, the people have to get it done, right? Like and how you treat them and how you show respect. And even respect is even being honest too in the fact of, even being a leader, right? In the military, it was my job as a, senior leader to not only lead my soldiers through the most difficult times in their life, but also be compassionate and understanding that, that they're human beings and they have things in life outside of the army that also keep them grounded and honed in. And if that's not good, then, of course, nothing else is going to work well. So to me, I think when I look back at that, right, like my mom and dad to this day, they always tell me, like, treat people like you want to be treated.
Hmm.
Treat them as, like they're the most important thing right now. Because when you start doing that, then you're going to get the buy in, you're going to get all those things. So I really think that really helped. And that was the biggest thing that I could do is just be authentic to myself, allow my morals, my foundation, what built me, what brought me up into this world. And then you use that, and then the tools and the skills and leadership skills that the Army gave me, right, helps me build on that and be able to help problem solve for them, right? But it just goes back to being yourself. Don't try to be something that you're not, right? Like, don't want people can see that, soldiers can see that, your teams can see that, your leaders can see that. Like if you're trying to be somebody you're not, it's going to show. Your colors are going to show, right? Like your
Yeah.
true form is still always going to show. And so like if you just be true to yourself, treat people like they deserve to be treated, right?
Yeah.
We we all put our shoes on the same, we all put our pants and our shirt the same way, right? It don't matter. Like just and love who you are, right? Just love who you are. Like don't
It's good. It's good. It's funny you say that, right? There's this quote, right? It says, um, "Be yourself everywhere you go, unless you're afraid to be yourself everywhere you go." you know and those people who have a genuine heart, they just show up who they are, like hey, I'm here to help. How what y'all need me to do? If somebody gives them an assignment, they'll finish their assignment and they'll be like, hey, anybody need some help, but we also got those people who are like, I'm done, I'm up out of here. Like,
yeah.
hey, I did my piece, it's time to go to Margarita Monday. And everybody's still working. But I totally agree with that, man. My mom raised me to be the best person that I could be, to always help people. My mom did one thing that like shaped how I view the world. We grew up really poor. We're riding in the car, and it was this homeless guy underneath the bridge. And he comes over to the car and he says, "You got some, you got some money, but we broke, right?" So my mom gave this dude like $5, and I'm like, "What?" In my mind, because I'm like, I just ate a bologna sandwich, bro. What's up with this? You give this dude $5, and he takes off. He's like, "Thank you, ma'am." He takes off, and she says, "I said, Mama, why you get him that $5?" She's like, "Ray, remember, somebody always has it worse than you." And she said, "You're not underneath the bridge. We might not have a bunch of stuff." She said, "But we're not underneath the bridge, right?" And I'm telling you, though she did it unconsciously, that time when elementary school carried me all the way through. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you're absolutely right. Our parents are giving us all these lessons, and they hoping that we stay true to them. Just like you as a parent now, you're like, "Hey man, I'm trying to teach this guy. Please, Lord, let that guy listen to me." Hey, so I mean, man, this is a great conversation right now. Um, like you talked a little bit about how you was transitioning, but I want to know, like, what part of your identity did you have to let go, or was it a part of your identity that you had to be like, man, this thing right here is not conducive to me being successful in the civilian world?
Yeah. So the it happened early on in my career too when I was married, right? Well, still married to my wife, but she I came home one day and she had said she was like, "Hey," she was like, "when you come through those doors, you're not Sergeant Sieren, you're not US Army Sieren." She's like, "Your dad, your
Mhm.
babe, your husband, your, like your daddy, right? Like all that's what we need, right?" Like so and she had told me, she was like, and you know how hard that is sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Like you come home and you're still in that mindset, and sometimes it's hard to turn it off. And she had told me, and it was a hard lesson, and she told me, she was like, "Look," she's like, "We love you. The kids love you. We want you. We don't want the U.S. Army soldier coming through the house, right?" Like,
Mhm,
she's
mhm.
like, "We want dad. I want my husband." And when she put it like that, it really kind of set me in a, I was like, man, like that kind of hit me hard in the chest, because I was like, what am I doing that's causing them have that,
Yeah, to feel that way, yeah.
to have that, what you call it, that feeling that, maybe you're damaging your relationship with your kids or damaging your relationship with your wife, right? Like,
Yeah.
and then when she did that, I decided to make a change right then and there. So when I came home, all that came off. I just was like, what was the easiest thing I could do? Let me take off my top. I still have my boots on, right? Like, but I take off my top and be like, hey, what's up? And I started interacting right away as if I was dad, if I
Mhm.
was my wife's husband. And that changed. And then in the civilian world, right? Like I had to relearn that a little bit again too, especially working in my previous job.
Yeah.
I worked at ADP in the corporate world. There was that time where it was like really hard for me. Like when I walked in, and when you're a senior leader, even a senior NCO, right? Like that carries that level of kind of like entitlement. It's hard to say, but it's a real thing,
Mhm.
right? Like when, a senior NCO or senior officer walks into a room, like people pay attention, right? They want to know what's going on. They're like, why are they here? Why are they doing that? And I had to learn to let that go too. It was really, really hard because I got used to being able to walk in rooms, being a senior NCO and, hey, Sergeant, how can I help you? Like, what do you need going on? Like, what's this? Like, what do you need help with? Right. To I walk in the door and I'm just the same old person as
Oh, yeah.
everybody else, you know.
You're like, they're like, "What's up, Eugene?"
At ADP, I was talking to a former soldier there, right? And he was telling me, he was like, hey, brother, like, it'll take a little bit, but just know you still who you are. He was like, but you don't have to carry that with you anymore. Just let that burden go. Let that ability to just be like, I can just walk into work and be me. I don't have to be something greater than me, right? Like, I don't have to carry that like I'm a senior NCO, like this is what's expected of me when I walk into a room or when I walk somewhere, like I got to carry this certain level of professionalism all the time. And that professionalism is always there. But, like now I could just walk in,
Mhm.
I show up to work, I say hi, I greet everybody, and everybody's like, Eugene, what's up? So I could just be my normal self without having to carry all the weight of, you know, because when you wear
Yeah.
the uniform, you're representing the army. Now I just get to represent myself, right?
Yeah.
Of course, the company I work with, but it's different.
Yeah.
Now I get to be me. I get to be authentic to me. I get to be, like, so that helped,
No, no,
like that
I feel
really
you.
helped.
I feel you. Yeah, I see some guys all the time. They're like, it's so much good on this side, brother." And I'm like, I don't know yet, man. Let me get there. So like now that you think about all this stuff, like if if your younger self could meet you, what do you think would surprise him the most?
I was thinking about this, right? Like, and what's interesting is, you know, I think one they'd be a little surprised, right? Like, because I was adopted, right? Like, so I grew up in the foster care system and all that stuff, right? Like, so growing up, so I had a little bit of struggle of um always wanting to belong. I always wanted to feel like I needed to belong to something. I
Mhm.
needed to have that sense of belonging. Like I needed somebody to accept me. I needed somebody to make me feel part of them, right? And now I don't have to do that anymore. The army gave me a purpose, right? Like it gave me a sense of belonging. It helped me work through those transitions because as you move up, as you get promoted, as you start, when those things are happening, you get further and further away a little bit, but you you learn that um it's not about you anymore, right? Like it's about what you put out there, right? Like the work that you're doing now sets the purpose and the foundation for generations to follow, right? And that's what the army taught me. So it's like all this time I've
Yeah.
wanted a sense of belonging. I wanted to make people want me, and I always wanted to feel that I never wanted to be left outside, right? And um, so in saying that, now that I'm out of the army, I'm no longer having that sense of belonging, but it's still me, right? Like so that
Yeah.
younger me would look at me and be like, "Hey, you made it," right? Like you no longer have to have that,
Mm.
like me, let me be a part of your team. Let me no. Now it's like, what can I do to help you? Like, how do I fit into
Yeah.
a society that's anybody will want you on the
Yeah.
team. Just be you, right? Like they're gonna be
Yeah.
yeah,
You
you
are
are
the
the team
team
now, right?
now.
Like you are like
You know.
it's it's you, so I feel like the younger me be like, you made it, brother, you made it, right? Like you went through these hardships growing up, like going through a foster care system is really tough, then you get adopted. You had I have great parents, right? They teach me all these foundation skills. I joined the army, right? Like I'm still wanting that sense of belonging, and now I realize that sense of belonging has always been there, right? Like I don't
Yeah.
have to work
Yeah.
at it, right?
You
Like I
already.
don't have to come to you like
Yeah.
Rashawn and be like,
You
like
already
me,
have
right? Like
somebody.
like me, Rashawn. Like you're gonna like me because of who I am, how and what I am, right? Like not because I want you to like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I
Mhm.
really truly think,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
like
feel
that
you.
my younger self would say that, like, you did it, brother. Like you're no longer out there searching for a belonging. You already have a belonging. You're just you. Just be you. You belong to you, your family, like you wear all these different hats, but you're still true to yourself, and you're no longer like searching for gratification and searching for those type of things. It's just you're just out there winging it in the world, right? Like, but doing your thing.
Yeah, man. Bro, I think all of us are kind of winging it in this place because, you know, I, I'm a oddly, my my friends laugh at me, my sisters them laugh at me because I was the quiet dude growing up. Like still to this day, I'm the quietest person in my family. If you meet any of them other jokers, you're gonna be like, "What the world?" He is not from that family, right? But what I learned over time, is just everything you're saying is that I half of my life to even to this point, I didn't like who I was, and thinking back, I'm not really sure why it was. We didn't have a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I had my mom. I never knew my dad. I kind of wanted a dad in my life because I was watching everybody else with parents. But then listening to you right now saying, you know what, I was adopted, man. That kind of goes back to what my mom was saying, like, hey, somebody always has it worse than you, because we come from different places. And then as we get in the military, we get stronger. But I got stronger before the military. When I realized that, like, hey, man, I think I'm the man right now. I learned that in college because when I got to college on an athletic team, or even in high school on an athletic team, I had people that I was able to be with every day. I had people that we had a shared goal. We wanted to win. We struggled together on the court. Like we got yelled at together. In college, all of that stuff happened. In the military, it was just another part, right? But I had already learned those lessons. In the military, I just had to deal with people's personality all the time. I was like, man, these boys crazy out here, right? Yeah, but I truly understand where you're coming from, man, and I'm glad that you stated that, so people can hear that because we I was just interviewing someone the other day and they were talking about how they were adopted. And then I'm like, man, I don't know what that feels like, even though my life was a particular way. But I'm like, man, but to have a sense of belonging, but that person went all the way through and never had anybody.
That's rough.
You know what I mean? So like you're saying, like, hey, I got adopted. I had some good people. I'm part of them, and they taught me lessons. So when we kind of think about that, like I guess I would say to you, now you have your own team, you have your family, you have your kids, and you're the focal point of that thing. You're the one that's in charge of your team. don't let your wife get mad. I'm just saying you're in charge. I didn't mean it like that. He can sing and be like, man, who that thing? You told him you was in charge. He did not tell me that he was in charge. I'm just saying it right now.
You're good. You're good, brother. Yeah.
I'm just saying you're the man of the house, something like that, right? So now that you got this conglomerate and you have this team, have that changed you anyway from when you came up as an adoptee to now?
Yeah, it did, right? Like one of the things I never wanted was to ever leave my kids, right? Like I
Mm,
wanted to make sure that I was a part of their life no matter what, right? Like I'm not going nowhere, right? Like even if me and your mom didn't make it, I ain't going nowhere, you know?
mm, yeah.
Second of all, like yeah, my dad, my dad taught me a lot growing up and all those things, growing up on a farm in the middle of nowhere, Iowa, right? Like so it's like
Iowa, man. Who lives in Iowa, man?
yeah, I know. Farmers, right? Like but yeah, right. So like, I was this farm kid, right? Like I didn't have weekends and stuff because we're either out with the pigs, right? Like doing something on the farm, we're harvesting corn or soybeans, or
Mhm.
we're planting, or we're tilling the fields and stuff, right? Like so growing up and knowing that, right? Like my dad used to tell me, he was like, being a farmer is like raising kids, right?
Mm,
Like it's when you're planting crops, you got to get the field ready, right? You got to pull out the weeds, you got to get the soil just right, you got to put work into it, you got to add things to it too that allows it to grow and mature, and then when it's finally ready to harvest, they're out on their own, they're doing their own thing, and they're making their own splashes and ripples in the world, right? And so for me as a dad, right, like that was one of the things that like I want to make sure I do for my daughter and my boys, is that like, like one, they need to be authentic to themselves too. Like be who you
mhm.
are. Don't be somebody different. I'm not going to change who you are. I'm going to help you grow into who you want to be, right? Like if there's some things that you need to work on, like let's talk about those, right? Like if there's something that you're struggling with, let's talk about it. If there's something that I see like, hey, maybe, like you should be a little bit more sensitive to certain things, right? Like especially people's needs, or when you're talking to people, or um, when you're out there, you're representing yourself. And one thing my dad always said too is he said, when you're out there in this world, remember your last name. And you don't only just represent yourself, but you represent that last name. And what do you
Mm,
want the legacy of that last name to be? So I tell my kids that too, right? Like it's not just about you. You have a bigger purpose in life, right? Like, and when I'm gone from this world and you guys are out there on your own and you no longer have me, but you have what I represented, you carry that name, right? Like you carry me with you wherever you go. And so I want to make sure that I'm that dad for them. Like be yourself. I even tell them too, like if there's something that like, hey dad, like let's talk about this, it might have been something that I said that might have upset you, we could talk about it,
yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Like it's okay. You're allowed to feel how you want to feel, you're allowed to react how you want to react, but at the same time, as you mature, your reactions should be a lot more
Yeah.
controlled, right? Like you're learning how to handle those adversities, handle those situations, handle those tough decisions in life that you're going to have to make. And one thing I tell them too, like my goal too as a dad is to send you out into this world with the less stressors
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah. Be prepared. Yeah.
I don't want to send my kid, be prepared, right? Like I was like, I know you guys laugh sometimes when I talk about my army career because like it was, I was
Mhm.
gone a lot doing all these things, and some of the things that I learned, and some of the, you know, some of the funny things I used to tell them. I was like, do you guys want to go out there and kick rocks and play in traffic, or do you want to solve a problem and be,
Mhm. Yeah.
be
Yeah.
you be an active member in society, right? And be like, I
Yeah.
could do
Yeah.
this, and it goes back to my youngest. We got called to the school when he was in fifth grade. He's a junior now, but and the principal called us to the school because Jaden had pushed this bully away from this other kid. And what was happening, this other kid was bullying this kid. He was just sitting all by himself, wasn't bothering nobody. Jaden didn't like it. And this kid got in the face, and Jaden kind of pushed him away. And the principal wanted to, punish Jaden for standing up for this kid. And I looked at the principal and I was like, you wish you had more kids like Jaden, because Jaden stuck up for a kid that everybody saw what was going
Hmm.
on. Everybody saw this kid was getting picked on and getting pushed on by this other kid. And Jaden stood up and pushed him off this kid and gained a friend for the rest of his life. They're
Yeah.
still friends to this day, like, and it's really neat to see. But I was like, you want more kids like that. And then as a dad, that made me proud, right? Afterwards, I told Jaden, I was like, good job, buddy. I was like, always before you put hands on somebody, solve issues
Yeah.
before that, right? Like, hey, stop being mean, stop doing things like that.
Try to be diplomatic. Hey,
Yeah,
leave him
yeah, leave
alone.
them alone. But as a fifth grade kid, right? Like, usually that you're gonna act differently, right? Like, but
Yeah, yeah. You just can't roll up over there and then like start putting hands on people and be like, hey, I'm trying to stop somebody else from fighting.
But like I was proud of him because I knew that I was instilling behavior to stick up for those that can't stick up for themselves, right? To fight for
Yeah.
those that can't fight for
Hmm.
themselves. That's the army too, right? Like we fight for those that can't fight for themselves. Like we defend those that can't defend themselves. Like you're saying, like across all different facets of life. And so I see my kids growing, like, and I see them becoming
Yeah.
members of society, and I can say I'm honestly proud,
Uh-huh.
right? Like I'm instilling those foundations and those things in their life, and I tell them, like I said, just overall, just be yourself. Don't be something you're not, right? Be hungry. Don't settle
Be
for
hungry.
average. Don't settle for the bottom line. Go and continue. What do we say in the army, Rashawn? Like be that 1% above, right? Everybody else, right?
Yeah, be that 1%, man. And then with being at 1%, improve yourself 1% every day, right? Because we wake up, and with what you used to do, what I'm still doing, it's like like we're problem solvers. And somebody said something to me a long time ago. I can't remember it. It was like let your name be the answer. They're like, let your name be the answer. I'm like, what do you mean by that? They was like, let people when people encounter a problem, let who you are be something that people believe that can help solve that problem, help fix it. And that's just come to being a good steward, not only of the military, but being a good steward of yourself. Because as we're talking, and I'm gonna drop a couple dimes on you right now, right? Big rock, right? You know, yeah, like because when you take a step back for all of us, and you take a step back and you really start to look at who you are as an individual, you have to notice that you always had some tools that are innate to you that can help other people. Sometimes we just don't use those tools. Do I know why? I have no clue. But as we grow older and we have gained more confidence in ourselves, we become more competent in the things that we're doing, we will unconsciously help people up. And then when you help people up and you show them the way, you know what? You just gave them a different tool to use. They put it in their kit bag and they're like, oh, you know what? That's how Eugene showed me to do it. I'm pretty sure there's so many young soldiers out there like, well, Eugene told me to do it like this. And then they do it and then they show somebody else. They were like, hey, this is how we do this thing, but you've been giving people tools all this time in the operational environment, right? And whatever tools that those guys and gals got, they're going to take it out into the civilian world because everyone serving 20 years is hard, right? 20 years that's not for the weak and uncommitted, man. You got to be about that life. Some people make it somehow, but to get 20, it's something inside of you that everyone else does not have. And with that being said, how how do you now, or did you train your mind to perform under extreme pressure? Because Pressure is everywhere, right? So how do you train yourself to say, hey, you know what? The block is hot right now, but I'm still gonna get it done.
Yeah, so the great thing in the military, right, and you know this, we train everything by the numbers, right?
Hmm.
And we do it over and over and over and over and over to where it's just repetition. We don't even think about it. It's like rolling out of bed and knocking out a PT test. It's like going out to the range and firing your individual weapon system, right? Or doing gunnery when it comes to air defense stuff, right? Like it's like taking a test. It's all those things. So you train your mind, right? Like one of the things too that kind of helped me get through that is knowing that my family depended on me. They depended on this on the job in the army. Depended on me to show up every day, do what I had to do to make sure that lights were on, food was on the table, right? They, they had their health insurance, they had all those things. So my family was my driving force, right? Like, and then my son Gavin, he's 21 now, but I mean, he's had seizures since he was little, right? So, and I
Hmm.
see Gavin after he has a seizure, he gets up, acts like nothing happened. He's ready to tackle the day, right? Like he was like,
Hmm.
"Hey, Dad,
Yeah.
like even in school, I want to go back to school. You just had a seizure yesterday. I'm going to go back to school. I need to get my homework done. I need to go do this. I got a test. I have this." He was like, "Dad, this is what's happened to me, but this doesn't define me." Right. And
Hmm.
so of course I had a son at home, right? That was also my driving force to help me too to get through tough times. Is like if I got my son, my little boy run around still tackling everything and still tackling adversity, have a seizure, still get up and go do what he's got to do every day and do it with a smile on his face and loving life, I can do the same thing. And then when you're a leader in the army, right? Like people no
Hmm.
longer, it's not about you anymore, it's about them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if I come in with an attitude that it's already going to be a struggle, that it's already going to be tough, and it's already going to, like, I'm already admitting that I'm quitting, right? Like,
Yeah.
I remember I used to love this, right? Like, coming in the morning, we got PT, right? Like, I miss doing those things, right? Doing PT in the morning, and then we're getting ready to go to a range, we're getting ready to do things with the soldiers, and sometimes, like, you get these new soldiers, you be like, Sergeant, like, I've never fired this weapon before. How am I gonna do it? Right? Like, I don't know if I could do this. And you just look them in the face and be like, you know what? There's thousands of soldiers that did it before you, and they walked away qualified, right? I'm gonna be right here with you throughout the whole process. You're not gonna do this alone, right?
Mm.
So, as a leader, everything you do, you don't do it alone. You got your left and right. You got your front and your back, right? You're always covered, right? Like the same
Yeah.
thing when, we were even instructors together at Fort Sill, right? Like you used to tell us in SEALs all the time, it's not about me, it's about us,
Hmm.
right? Like we have
Absolutely.
all
Yeah.
these students, we have all these, young captains and lieutenants to get through this schooling, right? Like it's not about what I do or you do, is what we do as a team to make sure that they're
Mhm.
fully capable of going out to the force and doing what they got to do and leading our nation's greatest, right?
That's where people get lost too, man. Because I tell you, like that team acronym, together everyone achieves more. That thing is fire
Yes.
because
Yeah.
because even today, I tell the guys and gals, I'm like, hey man, I said, you know how you don't have to do you know how to make sure that you don't do so much work, and then they were like, well, I say train somebody else because if you're training people to be proficient now you just out there assessing again. You know what I'm saying? Like you're assessing like, they don't know this piece now. Let me square them away. And if you stay in that continuous cycle, man, you it's impossible for you to do a bunch of work because everybody's out there is grinding already, right? And then sometimes you're going to get to the point to where you're not even grinding anymore because when everybody become proficient, everyone's just like, I got this, and it's because of you, people like you, right? So with that, talking about that, I got a really good question for you. Like
Bring it.
you know,
Bring
so
it.
in your mind, tell me what separates a good leader from a bad leader.
Yeah, so a good leader, right? Good leaders, I don't know if you've ever seen that, where leaders are holding the umbrella over their people, right?
I've seen that.
Good leaders, right? Like good leaders shelter their team, right? Like from all the nonsense that's coming up from the top, right? Like all that noise that's all the way up
Hmm.
there, right? Like they don't need to worry about that, right? They need to worry about coming in every day, doing what they got to do to get back home to their families, whatever that is, right? Like whatever they got to get home to, right? Good leaders lead from the front.
Yeah, I
It's
would
not
agree.
about, hey, you got this, it's we got this.
Hmm.
When they're struggling, they're in the fight, and you're willing to pull up a chair and sit down right beside them. You're willing to pull them off to the side and be like, hey, I notice you're not like, be like, Rashawn, I notice you're not the same old Rashawn today. Like, what's going on? I've noticed this, like you're just not smiling. You're not happy.
Yeah,
You didn't come in high fiving
yeah.
everybody. What's going on, right? Pull them aside. Talk to them. Take off that rank, take off that title, take that off, right? Like let them see who you are. When you're when the people under you that you're leading can see who you are and see the genuine self that you are, there's nothing that you can't achieve as a leader, right? Like they're going to go to bat for you. They're going to be fighting to stand in front of you when
Yeah,
things get tough versus you trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
and you're as a leader, you're going to be like,
yeah.
no, get
Protect
behind
you.
me,
Yeah.
right? Like, yeah, I got the vest on. I don't need you guys taking the shots. I'm taking the shots,
Hmm.
right? Good leaders also take the good and the bad. You're responsible for everything that happens that's good and everything that happens that's bad, right? And I think bad leaders struggle with that, right? Like they want to be the first one to be like, hey, look what my team did. Look at all these great achievements I have. But when they're struggling,
I did it. Look at
yeah, look at
me.
me, right? Like, look what I can
or,
do.
or, or like, or like, I don't know why they did that. Let me get with them.
Yeah, yeah, right, right. Like, and then you're giving them direction, you're giving them purpose, you're giving them motivation, right, to get through and tackle their day. And when they're struggling and failing, then you're failing. And then a good leader will be able to remove themselves from that situation and be like, what didn't I do to make sure that they were successful? What didn't I do to make sure, hey, Rashawn's no longer coming in and he's struggling and he's having a bad day and he's, like, what did I do? Did I pull him off to the side? Did I talk to him? Did I let him be able to get everything that he had on his chest off so he could go back out there and be a productive member on the team? Did I do something like that? Right. Like, if not, then I'm failing. Right. Like, sometimes we got to pull ourselves away from the situation and put ourselves in their shoes, right?
Yeah, like you're talking right now. So, that goes into my next question. So I got to stop you before you answer the next question.
Yeah.
Like, I was going to ask you, like what habits separate those who move forward from who's, let me ask this again, make sure I get it right. What habits separate those who move forward from those who remain stuck?
Yeah, so you have to have that growth mindset. You have to be willing to change too. Like the world's always changing. Things are always changing. Processes are always changing, right? Like, and then you have this younger generation coming in too with all
Mhm.
these great ideas, and
Yeah,
they're so more
smart.
super smart, technology
He's
smart
really
and
smart.
everything, right? Like even with AI, right? Like even when you look at AI, right? And so if you're so stuck in your ways and you're so used to, right, like I'm gonna give my my associate or my soldier a counseling, but I'm gonna handwrite that
Mhm.
thing in. Well, did you know that there's computers that you can type it in now? No, I want to handwrite. I want to handwrite everything. So you're willing to be stuck in your same ways instead of making your life easier, right? Like,
You know what? Somebody told me this one time, long time ago. I think I was a first lieutenant. They were like, you know what? If you got somebody that old school, you need to get rid of them. I was like, why you say that? They said, 'Cause the only reason they're old school because they were unwilling to move forward.
you stop
Right? Go.
moving.
I'm
No,
sorry.
you're right. Like you stop process. That process is stopped the
Hmm.
moment you stop being able to have that growth mindset and being able to move forward. I think that just comes down to it,
Oh
right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. You're right, man. I tell my guys, all this. Like I tell them I don't trust the AI. And and I always write my stuff out. I write it out, I look at it, and then I do some comparative analysis what AI creates, because like they're telling us to use it, and so I tell my peoples, I'm like, hey, use that AI, put it in that AI, but you better not just put it in the AI. You better come up with something and then tell AI to check it or something, because when I was a professor of military science, and I'm not dogging on anybody, I'm just saying when I was a professor of military science, all of a sudden, man, my students who usually don't do so hot, man, them dudes was on fire, and I was like, golly, man, this boy's learned how to write overnight, But then we took the test, and everybody got 100, and I'm like, hold on, something ain't right. So I was like, next test we take, we're gonna come in and we're gonna take it on a hard sheet of paper. Man, them dudes did so bad, man. And then I was like, all right, y'all, what are y'all using? Because that's when AI for the Chat GPT first came out, right? And the reason I say that because I, like we're talking now, I did not say, hey, we're gonna take all of these tests handwriting from here on out, because that's not where the world is heading, right? I got to be a steward of development and professionalism also. I said, hey, I don't have a problem with y'all using these tools, but what I need you to do is create something yourself, show it to me, but then show me what AI produced so I can make sure that you was doing the work, man. Because obviously this AI is making y'all sound like rocket scientists over here, and I like that because I'm getting smarter. But like you're saying, man, like we have to be willing to help people move forward. These young people now, they're way smarter than us. Like I hear people like, "Oh, yeah, we know back in my day." Like, yeah, yeah, back in the day, if you would have had these systems, you would have used them too. Cause I tell people all the time, like, man, if I would have had this in college, man, I probably not even be as smart as I am. I would have been like 30 seconds. I'm good to go, teacher. Here you go. But it's good that that you recognize that, man. I'm glad you brought that up about how these youngsters and these things that are available to them, and how we can allow them to move forward, and us and ourselves have to be willing to say like, hey, you know what? We got this tool. I need to use it because everybody else is using it. It's not going anywhere. It's only going to go forward. So earlier, you were talking about rank and titles and stuff like that, right? So have you share with other people about like how success is not about rank? It's you know,
I have. I tell people all the time, like, you know, your title, your rank, it is what it is, right? Like
it is, yeah.
it is what it is. But I explain it like this. If your team is not willing to follow you to this dark building with no electricity, no lights on, and you guys got to go in there and you got to establish something, right? Like you got to go in there and check it out, whatever that is. And when you go through that door and you turn back and you're by yourself, it don't matter what your rank is. It doesn't matter what your
Yeah.
title is. You're not leading nobody, right?
Mhm.
You're
Mhm.
not a leader. You're a boss. You could tell people what to do all day.
I like that. You're a boss.
You're a
Yeah, you're not
boss,
a leader.
right? Like
You're,
you
yeah.
can tell people what to do. And because you're a boss, people will listen, but they're not going to follow you. They're not going to follow you anywhere, right? Like they'll listen, they'll do what you tell them to do. But when you kick in that door and you start moving through your obstacles and you look back and you got a team of 5 guys or girls behind you, you've succeeded. Whether you come out of there and you've accomplished that task, it doesn't matter, right? What matters is you had a group of people that were willing to line up with you and go into an unknown, but trust that you were going to bring them out safely. Trust that you were going to lead them to where they needed to go, and they had, I mean, everybody's scared, but they didn't have the fear that something bad was going to happen. They had that
Mhm.
fear of the unknown, but they were like, yo, Eugene's there for me, right? Rashawn's there for me. Like, we're going to kick in this door and we're going to go. Hell, like hell or high water, like the saying is, right? Like,
Yeah.
we're going to succeed. So it doesn't matter, right? Like title, rank, nothing. It's if people aren't willing to follow you, you're just a boss. You're just giving directions. You're giving orders, but you're not leading nobody.
Yeah, and you know, and leadership is not normal. You know what I'm saying? Just like winning is not normal. You know, some people have won a lot, but they probably lost a lot too. Some people get out front and they're unwilling to be self-aware and say, "Hey, you know what? There's a lot of things that I don't know how to do, but I need to put people around me who are able to do that." You know, I believe that's what real leaders are. You know, I've throughout my career, man, I've had so many youngsters that were so smart, and I was like, "You know how to do that?" And they were like, "Yeah, hey, come on over here with me, man. We about to go teach this thing." You know, and they're like, but then somebody, I heard a soldier one time telling somebody, they're like, yeah, I had to teach the captain how to, and then I came around the corner. I'm like, yeah, you sure did, man. You did a good job, man. We need to get you a coin or something. But he was out there bragging, like, yeah, I can teach Captain Warren. I mean, but I was proud of that, right? Because he felt like, you know what, I showed him something, and he was willing to listen to me, but also that I didn't like burn him down because I heard him, just because I was like, you sure did, man. I sure wasn't gonna make it through there without you, man. I said, but you about to start teaching some classes now, because everybody needs to know this. All right, hey, I know we're getting close to shutting down, and so I got two more things for you. Like if you could shift one mindset in today's generation, what would you want to shift?
So one thing I would want to shift, right? Like, and again, it's the same thing that I do with my kids. It just goes back to authenticity, right? Being authentic to yourself. Like I know these kids have access to so many different things than what we had access to when we were growing up, right? Like, and it's easy to get lost in everything that's going on with all the technology, with all the social media and things like that, with everything going on in this world, right? Like you can get really lost and kind of lose who you are, right? Like I would just say be true to yourself, right? Don't go looking for gratification or satisfaction from people, right? Like if they don't like you, they don't like you. It's okay. It's okay not to be liked. It's okay not to be, you know, in that position where you feel like you have to have that all the time, right? Like I would just say that, like, and I know my boys struggle with that, right? Like they want to be liked, they want to, have friends, they want to have all
Mhm.
the things, and I tell them,
Mhm.
I was like, and the great thing is right, like growing up, how many people are you in contact with from when you were growing up till now, right? People are
Yeah,
going to
not
come,
me.
right? People are going to come and go in your life. The ones that are really there for you, the ones that are really going to stick it through with you, you'll know who those people are as you go through life, right? Like one, your family is always going to love you no matter what. So you don't ever have to
Yeah,
worry about
always.
not being loved. So love yourself, know that you're loved, and then don't just know that people come and go in your life. Just be true to yourself. There's people out there that are going to love you for you, and those are the real people that you need in your life. Don't This younger generation, they struggle with that. They struggle with being liked and loved and wanting to feel that gratification. I would just say that. Just don't go looking for it. Just be yourself. Don't follow the noise and you'll be okay. Like
Yeah, I like that, man. So, final thought. So, when this thing is played and people hear you or they view us, you know, what would you hope that people would have taken from this interview today?
yeah, I just hope people know that, like one, being a leader is not easy, right? Like it's a constant shifting pendulum no matter what, right? Like um one of my I wanted to share this earlier, I'll share it now real quick, but one of my favorite sayings is from, former General Colonel Powell, right? Where he said leadership is about solving problems. The day your soldiers stop bringing you the problems is either a failure in leadership or a failure in that you've been able to how did he put it? Yeah, or confidence that you can help them lead through the outcome, right?
Mm-hmm.
And and that's leadership, right? Like you want people to bring problems. You want your teammates to bring you problems or through that. And just know that like being a leader is not easy. Being authentic to yourself is not easy either. But you're doing nobody any good not being authentic to yourself. You're not doing your family any good, your friends any good. I wouldn't do you any good, Rashawn, like if I wasn't being authentic to myself either and vice versa, right? Like
Yeah,
it's,
absolutely.
and then like I said, yeah, being a leader is not easy. It's an everyday job. It's constantly like the pendulum's always swinging. And if you want to be a leader, then you need to be in it to win it. You need to be in it
I,
for your people, and that's it.
yeah, if people wanted to get a hold of you and ask you some questions, you got any social media handles?
Yeah,
I'm pretty
I
sure we'll
do.
get them. So we'll get them up. But you got anything you want to just put out where people can primarily reach you at or email?
Yeah, so my email, you can reach me at eugene.sieren@gmail.com. Right there's my email. You can use that email. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook. You can look me on Facebook. I'm on Instagram too, right? Like it's just Eugene Sieren. If you look me up, I'm there. Hit me a message, shoot me. We could talk. We can talk about anything, right? Like if you just want to get something off your chest, like and then if you want to talk, I'll shoot you my number, right? If it's easier for you to talk on the phone, I'll shoot you my number. I know, Rashawn, you got my number, right? Like you got it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we'll make sure all that stuff get out there. Hey Eugene, hey, I really appreciate you sharing your thoughts today and your perspective. I know it's going to be well received once this is out on the air and people are able to listen. Um, and as we close this out, hey, I just want to thank you for your service. Uh, like I said earlier, not everyone gets to that 20-year mark, and you obviously did. Always thought super highly of you. That's why I'm talking to you now because I don't really mess with people I don't think highly of like that. But no down on anyone. But there are definitely some people in my life that I feel like what, that was a good person, and that person is worth keeping around. So, and thank you. And with that being said, hey,
Thank you.
this is CIME. I'm your host, Rashawn, and thank you.